Okay guys, here is where we started. I completely forgot to take a picture of the before, so I had to go back through my camera roll and I found this picture. It shows in the background what the pantry looked like. We had some of those stainless steel pull-out drawers and a few other things, some hanging wire-coated organizers, and so I just did not like it. It didn't work. Here is the space with everything taken out. We removed all of the shelving and you can see how deep this pantry is. We have also started to fill in the holes and the flaws with the drywall mud. Since the original pantry was so deep, we decided to create a false wall. And so I just reached my arm end to see about how far we needed to frame out the area to create the false wall. It wound up being about 21 inches. So we measured, and that is where we put the false wall. For the frame, we use 2x4s and 1x4s. For the false wall, we picked this wood look paneling, and I thought it just gave some interest to the pantry, and I just really love the way that it turned out. For the shelving, we decided to go with the floating shelf look, and I just really wanted to make it look finished. For the top of the shelf, we used 1/2-inch plywood, and then the bottom of the shelf, we used 1/4-inch plywood. The shelves are all completed. We used white casing to finish off the edge of the shelf, and now we are ready to paint. Okay, let me go into a little more detail here on what we did. I have to say I am so happy with the results of this project. It came out exactly as I envisioned, and I am just so glad it's finally finished. We were living with the old pantry for almost 20 years, and finally it's finished. I know it looks like there's a lot of wasted space right now, but it is just so beautiful. I just want to leave it like this. I'm sure at some point it will probably change, and I will take advantage of the space that I have, but for now, this is how it's staying. So let me show you. The pantry is over our staircase, so you can see how deep this area is, and it just did not make sense. It was too far back. Things would get lost, and so after doing some research, I came up with the idea to create a false wall to bring the pantry to a more usable length or depth, I guess. And so I think that putting the paneling in the back to create the wall was a great idea. Some people were using reclaimed wood and things like that to create some interest, but that would have just taken too much time. We wanted to get this completed in a weekend, and we almost did it. For the most part, it was completed over the weekend, but painting and filling in little extra areas and using the silicone You had to let it dry for, I believe, 24, 48 hours. And so that took a little bit more time, but I have to say it was not as easy as what you think, only because the area was not square. Had it been square, it would have been completed so much quicker. So let me show you what the shelf looks like up close. As I said, we went with the floating shelf style, and I just think that it gives it so much more of a finished look. And then we did the casings on the outside to give it more of a finished look as well. One of the many challenges we had was coming up with the spacing for the shelves. As you can see, this shelf here is not as tall as the rest, and we could have staggered them on the left and right side, but we wanted to come up with a solution that made the area look less cluttered. So this is what we came up with. The first 3 shelves are the same height as one another, and then we had to split the area here. And I knew I wanted to put my onions and potatoes on the bottom shelf, so I needed some room for baskets down there. So we had the idea of putting our glasses on, the drinking glasses on this shelf, and the drink mixes. So I figured that could be a little more shallow, I guess is the word I could use. And so that seemed to work out. As I said, things may change in the future, but for now, this is what we're doing. The entire project cost a little over $300, and that included the paneling for the back false wall, the studs for the framing, the plywood for the shelving, and the casing for the finishing. And I did not include the paint in that total because we were painting our kitchen family room area anyway. So whatever paint was purchased for that area, I did not include in this total. That total also does not include the baskets. The baskets I purchased on Amazon, and I will put the link below if you're interested in getting these baskets. I love them. They're great. They are working out exactly how I was hoping. I purchased 2 different options. I got baskets that did not have dividers, and then I purchased some baskets with dividers, and these are great. I love those. The other thing I purchased was some silicone shelf paper that I am also loving. I did not want the shelves to get scratched up, so that is working out great. You really cannot even tell that it's there. I will include the link below for that as well. And then here are the baskets I'm using for my onions and potatoes, and I just love the way those are working out. So let me know what you think about my pantry makeover. If you have any ideas on organization I could use for this area, I would love to hear that. Just leave a comment below. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope you got some ideas, and thank you so much for watching.